Hey Royal Legends, what's up? It's your boy Richard Mudd, and today we have my guy L on the show, man. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
How you been, man?
Yes, sir.
He's a filmmaker like myself, so I'm excited about this show, man. It's gonna be a real fun show. So I want you to just go ahead and look at the camera right there and just tell them who you are, what you do, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so my name is Elbert Lawrence. I am a video and film director. I have my own business. I'm Directed by Films, where I help businesses market their companies through video and also shoot music videos for myself as well. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I have a degree in film from Oklahoma Westland.
Oklahoma Westland? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my guy Jess, man. My man Jesse, he the reason why he on the show. So appreciate you, my guy. You always looking out. So I have a few questions for you. I'm a filmmaker myself, so like I said, I got millions of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to condense it for today, just for the sake of the time. You know what I mean? But I kind of just want to know what made you start film. Cause I know every filmmaker has his own unique story.
Yeah, for sure. So just growing up, I've always been a fan of like storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Watching my dad watch movies all the time and TV series. I just kind of want to kind of be like him and just like do that as well. And then I'm a big fan of like art and stuff. So I like going to museums and stuff. So I originally wanted to be like a writer, like an author or whatever, to write books and stuff. But I'm not the best at writing. Right, so I had to find like a different outlet to like tell my stories and stuff. So as I got older, I kind of gravitated to like photography originally. Right. But then again, like I couldn't make the money that I wanted to make doing it, and I also couldn't tell the stories I wanted to tell by doing photography. So I kind of ventured into video and fell in love with it, man.
So I just kind of want to know, what was your startup equipment? Like, where did you start from?
So like I said, I started with photography first. So my first camera, I went to the pawn shop, and I wanted to find the cheapest camera that could shoot video, but also pictures as well.
Okay.
And I can change the lenses and stuff. So I got a Canon T3i.
Canon.
Which is actually a really good camera, but it was a little dated when I got it. But just seeing like the quality of the pictures, I had an iPhone, so just seeing how much difference the quality is from an iPhone really like just captured my attention, and just kept wanting me to take more photos and just do more with it and just kind of venture out. And then, so I had that, and that was really all I had to start off with, just the Canon T3i, and then just taking photos and stuff.
I gotta ask, Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere?
So currently it's Premiere, but so I originally started with Final Cut Pro. Every person I watched on YouTube was using Adobe Premiere, and anyone I looked up to always used it. And the one thing I will say is Final Cut Pro was a lot easier to use, I would say a lot better to use. And if Final Cut Pro had like a After Effects software that you can combine with it, I would probably go back, because it's just, I don't know, it's amazing.
Okay, so last question I have for you.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily a question, it's more of a statement. So I just want to know, what is your main piece of advice you would give any upcoming filmmaker in terms of whether, like, when to start, where to invest, like their money at first, the first type of equipment they should get, stuff along those lines. What's some advice you would give some people?
Okay, so I'm gonna give some advice to like super beginners.
Right.
I'm gonna give some advice to like people like me and you, like entrepreneurs, who's kind of like trying to want to make money with it. Right. So as a beginner, I would say just go out and just do it, man. Like learn equipment, learn cameras, learn how the technical side works, learn how to tell stories. Don't just be someone out there just taking slow motion cinematic B-rolls all the time. Actually try to like tell stories with it. That's what's gonna put you out there in the future. Invest into a solid camera, but don't worry about anything else like at first. Just go out and make content, do it, and then like make good stories, then eventually learn other equipment, lighting and stuff. And film school, it helped me a lot, but I wouldn't say just invest all your money into like going to like the best film schools, because a bunch of stuff I learned was on YouTube. It's like YouTube taught me.
It's the YouTube era.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I went to college and half my classes were things I never used, and then the other was my film classes. But like study YouTube and everything, and find someone that you want to be like, and just kind of like follow their footsteps if they're successful or whatever. People like me and you, I would say just invest into yourself, like bettering yourself, like eventually everything's just like it's an asset, like it's making you money. Like I've had to learn recently to like actually market myself. And I gotta spend money marketing,
on promotions.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
But if you realize, like, if you was to spend, this is like example, if you spend $1,000 on marketing a month, you'll make that back with one client, you know,
Exactly.
and then other clients are just profit. So just learn how to not be afraid to spend your money in order to get a return in it. So that's probably the main advice I would give.
Yeah, we was talking about Paul Wahlbeck too. He was talking about it's called a return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
So he spends $3,700 a week on his film and website stuff, but he makes $700,000 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like his ROI was 1 in 8. For every $1 he spent, he makes $8. And so that right there is a crazy ROI. If people don't know anything about marketing and business, learn it. So like for people like us, get more into, like you said, the paid promotions, the ads. Learn how to wear your own shirt. Like I got my shirt on, you got your shirt on.
Exactly,
Like, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take you to the next
Yeah,
level.
and just if I can say anything else too, like you mentioned the shirts and stuff, like always have your business cards on you, have shirts on you. If you're gonna make your own clothing line, have your hats. Like all the time I get asked, are you a director? You're a filmmaker? Can I get a card? I might get business like that. So just always, it's a grind,
And it's crazy how easy, because it's like once you start, business comes so easy. So like a lot of the time, I'm sure you have the same experiences. I'll be shooting an event and I have 3 or 4 people come up to me like, oh man, I got something going on the next 2 weeks, or I got this going on. But if you don't have the business card, you don't know. And what I do, piece of advice I have too, what I did on my business card, I have a QR card on there. So when they scan the QR, it goes straight to my website. So they go straight to my booking section on my website. Not just my front page, like the booking, book me, you know what I'm saying? And so that's another thing too, like it just happens so organically. Once you get your foot in the door, it's kind of hard not to succeed in this area. But man, look, that's all the questions I have for you. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Sir, anytime.
If you want to look on the camera, you know what I'm saying, give yourself a shout out, tell people where to follow you, stuff like that.
Like see my shirt directed by films. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna spell it out for you because it's not my name. It's OSVZE. Or you can follow my business on Instagram and Facebook, Directed by Films, directedbyfilms.com. You can call me, man. Whatever y'all want to do, man. Just hit me up, dude. I'm always available.
I appreciate it, man. Okay, directed by my man L. How you doing, man? You good? All right, man. So on Royal Legends, we always like to have a segment where we take the creators and we make activity out of what they do for a living, right? And so today, we're gonna do sequels with a twist. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an instruction. So basically, I will give you titles of movies, and you will have to tell me what that sequel looks like to that movie. Pretty simple, right? Okay. So you're a filmmaker, you gotta be good at storytelling, so this should be interesting. We have Finding Nemo, we have Finding Dory, but we can't forget about Crush and Squirt. So if you had to make a sequel and it was called Finding Squirt, what would that look like?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make everybody mad with this one. All right, so at the beginning of Finding Squirt, Squirt be going around with his pops, and they would be kind of getting close to like a shore or whatever, and my man Squirt would get hit by a plastic straw, in a plastic bag, and he gets taken away. And he almost dies. I'm sorry, but he survives. He survives, and then after he survives, that's when the movie begins. And what's the dude's name? His dad.
Crush.
And so Crush gathered the whole gang back together, Dory, Nemo, and they try to find Squirt, man.
All right, man, you passed the hot seat. Good stuff.
Oh man.
That's funny as hell.